Good day, gamers. 14 here. Welcome to episode 6 of Minecraft StoneBlock. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I am well. I hope you're doing well as well. Today's episode of StoneBlock, we are going to be making some honestly pretty hefty changes to the base here in terms of adding our different uh, construction paths that we're going to be taking, as well as crafting stations. Most specifically, we're going to be starting up with Tinker's Construct, making the, I believe it is called, let me find the Tinker's Construct book again. Here we go. We're going to be making the smeltery and the furnace. Now, as I said previously, there's not a lot that I need from the smeltery and the furnace, simply because as soon as I start going into things like mechanism, I'm going to have the abilities from those even more so because power runs a lot faster and a lot easier. But I do want to go ahead and use them. And then I thought, you know what? If I'm going to go ahead and spend the time and materials to make the seared furnace and the seared, smeltery, I might as well just go ahead and make the biggest ones I can, because why not? But we do have to make the small versions first, and there are a couple things that I do want to do before I work on those. Mainly, I want to make sure that the base is lit up as best as I can to prevent hostile mobs from spawning, especially as I'm digging out certain areas. So the first thing we're going to be needing is some mega torches. So the mega torch, let's see, stops mob spawns in a 64 block radius. So it's some wood logs, some torches, diamonds, and blocks of gold. I don't have, actually I do have some spare torches. That is perfectly fine. We're going to need some logs. We have plenty of diamonds from all the sieving we've been doing. And I have maybe just enough gold. The other thing that I'm going to be building is going to require gold as well. I think I may just have enough gold. I might have to sieve for some more in a bit, but that's fine. Now, one mega torch is going to cover a 64 block area, which is more than enough for this the entirety of this main floor of center base. But here's the problem, and it's only a problem because my brain says it's a problem, is the fact of I want this area to be symmetrical. So in terms of like, where am I going to put it? Which area am I going to put it? Am I going to put it in the corner here? Am I going to put it in the corner here? Am I going to hide it someplace? You know what? Why not just make one in every corner? Because why not? So I do want to grab some oak leaves. I don't have any more fencing, but I'll grab some wood planks that I can use as building materials. So let's go ahead and make mega torches first off. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beauteous. That goes back there. That goes back there. And these torches go back in here for right now. I will be able to essentially recycle the torches, so it's not a big deal. I was like, oh, I've got a bunch of torches made. What am I going to do? I can use them again. So I do believe that I am going to place the torch. Let's see. Let's take a look-see here. What is going to be the best spot? I think... do I want it on the very top? I might actually want it on the very top here. So if I'm going to place it there, that's going to prevent spawning essentially throughout the entire base. But I do want it to look good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine out that block, that block, that block, that, and that. And then when I come down, that's already there. There we go. You know what? I think I like that. I think that'll work just fine. Basically having that little torch with the upper area kind of surrounded in leaf blocks. Yeah, I think that'll work just fine. Let's go ahead and do the same thing in the other corner over here. This is another one of those, I'm kind of making it up. I mean, a lot of this is I'm making it up as I go. But I am also, trying to decide how do I want, oops, didn't mean to, there we go, like it. That's better. Place the torch right there. See, obviously I'm making it up as I go, but I do want there to be some sort of, symmetry in the area. I want stuff to look good. Even for the spots that I know no one is going to be able to see but me. And, well, of course, you all. So we've got that area done. Next corner is going to be right over here. So this will stop the spawning, but it won't actually light up the base, which is fine. That's going to be the next step. Okay, we've got torch right there. Now, the method that I'm going to be using to light up the base itself, the feral flare lanterns, I do have to be a little careful with. They're not bad. They're actually very good, and I like them a lot. It's just that different versions. Does that look good? That looks good. Yeah, I like that. I like having that just little torch. A little torch in the corner makes all the difference. In previous versions of the mod that has the feral flare lantern, which I think is Torchmaster, but I will double check. Yeah, it's Torchmaster. In previous versions of it, there were the occasional issue where the way the feral flare lantern works is it essentially creates a series of invisible kind of light blocks. Not a full block. It's essentially just a little flicker. Similar to the blood lanterns. If you've watched me play Sevtech in the past, one of the things that I liked using a lot was the blood lanterns from Blood Magic. Those were really good for going around and kind of lighting up a cave as I go, lighting up the labyrinths as we were going through them, and so on. You don't have to worry about carrying a bunch of torches with you. I don't really care about reclaiming said lights when I'm done with them. They're there, they're done, cool. Okay. The feral flare lantern creates something similar. You can't click on them, you can't see them, but they do somewhat take up space. The only problem with that is, at the very least in previous versions of the mod, it would interact weirdly with multi-block structures, especially for ones that can't have another block next to it when being formed. I don't know exactly if this current version, or the version that's in this mod pack, still has that issue, but we'll keep an eye on it just to be on the safe side. Now, if we take a look at the feral flare lantern, it's going to take glowstone, some gold ingots, and any glass. I don't have enough gold at the moment to create all 4 that I want to make, but I am going to go ahead and make 2, and then I'll make the other 2 later. Let's see. Do I have some glass already smelted up? I do not believe I do, so let's go ahead and do such things. Don't need much glass. Grab that sand, and we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. I've been using some of the saplings that I've been generating from kind cutting down trees to just run this little furnace here. I could just hopper the outputs from the furnace. That's definitely not a big deal. But I've also been trying to collect the XP so I can start enchanting things. It's not great. It's a very slow. Method of getting XP, but it's what I got for the moment until I start doing stuff with like chickens and certain crops and things. Speaking of chickens, my little mini farm here has been growing quite a lot of wheat recently, which is very helpful. I've gotten a fair amount of wheat, which is mostly going to be used for hay bales. So it is good to have. But that is done. I've got the glass. Let's go ahead and make the feral flare lanterns, 2 of them. Slowly illuminates a large area. Removing the lantern causes lights to slowly decay. Bam. So I should be able to hang these essentially just from the ceiling. Now I only have 2. I do plan on making 2 more. But for now, I'll just go ahead and put the 2 up here. Let me grab some more wood planks. Is it F3G? Yes, perfect. All right, so this is negative, negative. This is positive, positive. So we're just going to put them there. There we go. Flare lantern. 1 there. And 1 here. Beauteous. Okay. So now, over time, I can go ahead and start removing the torches that I've got all along the ground, because these will actually light up in a, I want to say 32 block area. So with me having 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that'll light up the entirety of this level of center base with just that. I don't have to worry about glowstone in the floor. I don't have to worry about running lights anywhere. I don't have to worry about having the torches. You can even start seeing, as we've just been kind of looking around, you can see little dark spots starting to disappear. That's the feral flare lantern starting to work. So that'll be nice. Like I said, it works over time, so don't have to worry about it. The next thing that I want to do is, so using Tinker's Construct is going to require a lot of lava. Lava is used to power the furnace, and it's used to power the smeltery. Out of curiosity, because I didn't check before, is the... no, it doesn't look like it. In other versions of Tinker's Construct and Tinker's Companion and stuff, there is the little standalone meltery that you can make in addition to the smelter. Nope, that's fine. Not a problem. I was thinking, I might set one of those up just because, but I'm not worried about it, especially considering I'm going to go whole hog for the melter and furnace. But because I'm also building that, what I need to do is I need to have a very large source of lava. We can make lava pretty easily with the crucible here. The following makes lava: cobblestone, granite, diorite, and andesite. Now, if you take a look here in the crucible, it shows you, how much of each of them takes to make 1 bucket of lava. It also shows you the speed at which what light sources make lava. So a torch is 1 time, plutonium is 30 times, a flint and steel, aka active fire, is 5 times, megatorch is 10 times. But if you'll notice, a very simple and easy one here is a yellorium brick from Extreme Reactors. I'm not planning on doing anything with Extreme Reactors for a while, but through sieving, I do have a fair amount of yellorium dust. So all I need to do is smelt up 9 of it. That will get me a yellorium, or it'll get me 9 yellorium ingots, turn it into a block, put that underneath the crucible, and now I can make lava 20 times as fast as simply having it under a torch. Or having a torch under it, I should say. Which, like I said, is going to be helpful considering the massive amounts of lava I'm going to need for this. While that is smelting, we are going to check the Better Questing quest guide here, because doing stuff with the smeltery here is actually one of the quests to do. So we need to make the casting table, casting basin, seared drain, seared tank, smeltery controller, 2 seared faucets, and then 16 seared bricks. Now, off camera, I have gone ahead and I've made a bunch of seared bricks. That's just literally smelting the grout, which I've showed you previously. I just did that because with the kind of a slow way that I currently have for smelting stuff, I didn't want to be having to wait for that to happen. So did some of it on camera, did some of it off camera. I hope you'll understand. So the first thing we need is a casting table. That's easy enough to do. The casting table is simply the seared bricks, like so. Next up, we need the casting basin, which is just an upside down table. We also need the seared drain. That's easy to do. Boop. We're also going to need 2 faucets. So 1 and 2, just like that. We're going to need 1 seared tank, which I believe is some more glass. So we'll need to make some more glass in a moment. Yes, yeah, we'll need glass. That's fine. Easily done. And we'll make 4 for now. I wanted to wait until I got done with the yellorium before making more of that. Quick diversion. Yellorium becomes yellorium block. Yellorium. We shall place this right here for the moment. And with the crucible, gotta place down the block first. Like so. Doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't like hurt or anything like that. It's just there. Put that there. And there we go. Rate 20 times. So with 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cobblestone. Boop, boop, and boop. Yeah, you can see how fast it's converting that cobblestone into lava. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to automate this process to where I just have a hopper full of cobblestone going into here, and then I'm going to fluid pipe the lava out into where that it says. That's just a little visual bug. That's fine. It does that on occasion. It's saying that there's 20 bits, I guess you could say, of lava, of stone in there, and then 1,000 lava. It's just a little bug. Take the bucket, scoop the bucket, boop, there we go. So yeah, that's going to be so much faster. But yes, later on, automation, simply hopper cobblestone into here, fluid pipe the lava out into a storage tank of some sort, and then I'll be able to use it for lots of things. Be able to use it for the seared furnace, be able to use it for the seared smelter, and then power all of the different power generation that requires lava, which there are actually a few. But now that we have some lava, we can head back over here. We've got our glass. We want to go ahead and make the seared tank, which we are also going to be making a ton of later on. Let's see. We need the smeltery controller. We are going to make the seared furnace controller. I'll do that in a moment. The Tinker Tank is interesting. I'll show you the Tinker Tank in just a second. I'm not going to build it. Really. The smeltery controller is just 8 seared bricks. I don't need anything special for it. Okay. And then we need 16 seared bricks. So, bam. 16 seared bricks. Ta-da! Quest complete. Smeltery. Claim the loot chest that I'm never going to use. Goes in here and eventually will be not discarded, but put into deep storage. So, yeah, about the Tinker Tank. The Tinker Tank is basically a way to store a whole lot of liquids without actually like smelting them down. You have to smelt them down ahead of time and then pump them into here. I'd rather just have a whole bunch of singular tanks, like the actual like mechanism fluid tanks to hold a liquid, than this giant multi-block structure to hold different fluids of different types and amounts. It's just going to be much easier to have a fluid tank of each one. So with that being the case, we can go ahead and make the most basic of basic of smelters here. We're going to start. Oh, love my fail flare lanterns. Yeah, you can see how much brighter this area is now. I am going to, let's see, where do I want to start this? I'm going to remove these torches, and I'm going to allow this area. It's going to be dark for a bit because the lanterns have to be like, oh, I need to start updating this area with lights because there was light there and now there's not. But I will be using torches for like markers for different things as I go. All right. Let's put away these torches for the moment. I do want to make a basic setup for this. That is going to be that. We can use the, let's see which way we want to do this. We're going to have the smeltery controller here. The drain is going to be here. And then the seared tank should be here. Break that. And then we're going to go 1, 2, and 3 like so. Pop that out. 1, 2, and 3 like so. Interesting. Not a big deal, but interesting. The fact of the number of seared bricks that you need to make to begin with is not enough to actually construct, to actually fully construct your most basic of smelteries. I don't know why that is. Maybe they miscounted. But boop. We take a look. Ta-da! Smeltery controllers all set and ready to go. You know it's up and running when you see the little fire flares here. That way you know you've constructed it correctly. So what you can do is you can take the faucet and boop, just like that. We're just going to put the casting basin right there as a test. If we take a look, we have no fuel at the moment, but that's okay. We've got that bucket of lava, in fact, right here. And the really nice thing about these tanks is that they keep the liquid that's inside them, even if you break the tank. Very helpful. And we can smelt 9 things at once. We can hold up to 72 ingots, which is honestly a lot. That is a whole lot. But what I'm going to do with it at the moment is 8, 9. We're going to smelt ourselves a couple blocks of iron. Boop. Not that we really need the iron at the moment, but because we can. Right, that is using that. The best part about Tinker's Construct, at least in terms with this mod pack and most mod packs that include it, is it's a pretty easy way to get ore doubling. Smelting the iron in here, which we'll be able to see in a moment, gives you, instead of getting 1 piece of iron for every iron ore chunk, you get 2 pieces. So, ore doubling. Let's see. What do I want to look at? The next thing I wanted to do is basically the same thing with that. So I need more glass. I have the same glass. All right. So 16 of those. We're going to make the seared furnace controller, which means we have to... do I want to use... Yeah, I want to hang on to that furnace. So we're just going to make another furnace real quick. Go. Make a furnace. Then we make the seared furnace controller. We don't need a drain because we're not draining liquids out. We're only putting items in. If we take a look at the design... Oh, I do need a tank. Let me make the tank. I will be making more than one tank for this. I'm probably going to have several, but for now I can just use one tank. And if I remember correctly, I actually have to have there be a roof on it. Yeah, so basically the tanks go along the edges here. The controller just goes anywhere in the middle, but there has to be an actual roof on it. And I think the minimum size you can make it is 3x3. We're going to divert over here real quick. There we go. So we took 9 pieces of iron and made 2 blocks of iron. Eventually, this will be set up to be automated, but for now, that works. Let's do this right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it says it can be 3x3. So if we put the seared tank here, furnace controller here, and let's make sure that this works. Doot, and doot. Perfect. Huzzah! It works. Awesome sauce. Grab our first block of iron from there. And more iron. Thank you. I'm going to need a lot of iron for all the stuff I'm doing. But now we can go ahead. Let's make another... Thank you. Like that. Make another bucket of lava. Boop, 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 boop. Plenty of iron. That's cooling at the moment. Bam! Much faster than cooking it in the furnace here. And much more efficient considering we're getting double. Much lava. Perfect. Lava is done. Not the apple juice. I don't think apple juice is a good substitute for lava. There we go. So if we take a look at the seared furnace, what happens is it cooks stuff, but 16 items at a time. So using lava, I can cook just in this most basic 3x3x3 structure. It looks like I can cook 12 quarter stacks at a time. So, for example, let's see. These silkworms aren't doing much of anything, so I'll go ahead and take the silkworms. All I have to do is shift them in there. Boop. And that is going to cook up all 16 at once. It's not going to cook up 4, then cook up 4, then cook up 4. It cooks all 16 at once. So I probably am not going to use this all too often for the simple reason of a lot of the large amount of cooking I'm going to be doing is cooking ores. And for that, I'm going to be using the smeltery. But I figured, I tend to skip I tend to skip this as a step in terms of what I make. I might as well make it now, considering I'm showing you all the different things we can make. So, let's check my notes real quick. Got that. Got that done. Okay. What I want to do next is I'm actually going to open up part of the pathway here and here. So with this main level here of center base, with the amount of stuff that I'm going to have in terms of all the different chickens, all the different trees, and all the different crops that I'm going to be growing, I cannot fit all of that in just this little 2x2. I plan on having all the farms on this level. The next level down is power generation. The next level down beyond that is powered machinery. But I'd like to try and keep the farms on this level. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to grab that, put that away. I'm going to expand out this way just a bit, just to remind myself how much room I have to work between A, this area, and the next set of chunks over, and B, between this pathway that I'm going to create and this wall here. So I want to make it at least, let's see, I can definitely walk through a 2x2. Let's just knock out a few blocks. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're just going to do this for right now. Just like I said, as a marker, if nothing else, to be like, okay, I really can't go past this point, otherwise I'm going to start knocking into my pathway here. I do need to remove those, as well as this side. Question. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I need to make more fencing. Grab some sticks and some wood. Make some more fence. Not a ton. That should be enough for now. Okay. Going through here, keeping with the same design. Now I think eventually this area should be lit up by the feral flare lanterns. I am going to put a couple torches at the end. Apple juice. Apple juice. I am going to put some torches at the end, just to make sure. Again, nothing should spawn because of the mega torches, but just to be absolutely sure. Okay. So going with this design, I'm going to need leaf blocks here, because that's essentially going to be the wall. And then on this side is going to be the oak fence. Perfect. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, as well as take out this portion here, because that is going to be... Yeah, because if I put that there, that's going to be like that. Yep, okay. I could probably grab the iron hammer and do this a little bit faster, but that also might risk a little bit of, like, hitting blocks that I'm not intending to. And then I'd have to spend more time fixing. Thank you. And like so. All right. Combine these paxels together. And if I need to smelt up some stone, well, I have... Well, actually, I really can't cook the stone in the furnace because that just creates seared stone, not stone. Can I, out of curiosity, seared stone? Nope. Interesting. That's fine. Not a biggie. So yeah, that goes there. That's going to continue on. So I want this knocked out as well. What I was going to say is I don't think that I know that I can't smelt cobblestone into regular stone in the smeltery. If I put cobblestone into the smeltery, it simply becomes seared stone, which is a much faster way of getting lots and lots of seared stone, and I plan on using that a little later on. But my thought was then, okay, can I cook it inside the seared furnace? And if we see, boom, 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 we have an entire stack of cooked silkworm. I don't really think I'm going to be eating that much, considering I have so much apple juice. But it's good to cook a lot of stuff at once. I completely did not grab the leaf blocks that I was intending to. Bada boop. There we go. So I'm not sure if I want to have, because this is essentially going to be the roof, like so. And then this is the wall. Do I want the wall to go all the way up and meet here? And if so, that means I'm just creating a line of leaf blocks here. Or I just want leaf blocks here, like that. Design choices, design choices. That'll work for the moment. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I think that'll work for the moment. All right. Let's put away the cobblestone. Actually, let's go ahead and combine some of this cobblestone that I've got. Boop. And put away the oak fence. Don't have enough room in my inventory yet to do all the cobblestone at once, but that's perfectly fine. Just a few button presses. Let me just automatically do that. And then that. And then that. Nope, I went the wrong way. That was the recipe I was looking for. And then that one, like so. There we go, much more space. All right, so we've got smeltery. We've got the furnace. So what my plan is going to be is my original thought was I was going to have the furnace here and then the smeltery here. And then I'm going to have all of my storage be right here. But given the fact that I can go ahead and just make them gigantic, they can be 11 by 11. There is no need for me to make them that big. But you know what? I might as well go ahead and do so, just because I can. So with that being the case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the seared furnace built into this wall here. The seared smelter built into this wall here, and then I'm going to have my storage area be in this section. I love the fact that I can slowly but surely take away torches and not have to worry about A, mob spawning, and B, the area getting dark, because it'll get brighter over time. I do think that I want to go ahead and remove the crafting station from out of the floor. I still haven't decided exactly how I'm going to decorate the floor. I've got a few basics that I think I'm going to do. I just haven't fully decided. I do need to work on... Let's see. I do need to work on the storage area at some point because I'm very much running out of room in here. I've got plenty of eggs in the ground trap, which is nice. Let's go ahead, put away this seared brick for right now. Let's see, I think I can actually smelt the grout. Yeah, I can just smelt that directly into there. Cool. And I should be able to hopper into there as well. All right. Got that. Let us take a look into starting. Trying to decide exactly which step to take next. I need to knock out this entire wall. I need to make a ton of seared bricks and stuff for both of these things, and then decorate those areas correctly. I also need to knock out this wall to make the storage area for the all the small storage crates. I will show you what I'm planning to do with all of these small storage crates to give a better representation of how the storage area is going to be set up. So if we head over here, so it's going to take the wood casings, chests, and wood planks. The wood casings, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Let's do 12 for now. We're also going to need 12. Actually, we're going to need a lot more than 12 chests. And there we go. All right. So the basic idea for this is built into this wall here. I'm going to be having stacks of 4 small storage crates. Just like so. They're all going to be inset into the wall. So they're going to be essentially surrounded by the oak fence with the leaf blocks behind them. And I'm going to have a bunch of signs on them. Here's this basic sign. What other signs can we make? Just out of curiosity. Those are the battle signs. Flu sign. What is a flu sign? Oh, gotcha. Cute. Yep. I got it. So there really aren't too many other, like, actually you're going to write on them signs. Huh, interesting. Nope, those are the banners. Nope. Okay. I guess just the most basic of basic signs. Cool. That's perfectly fine. We can easily do that. So yes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to honestly just use the same storage system that I've used so many times in other mod packs, because at some point I'm going to get the digital storage. So it doesn't make sense to use a bunch of like super fancy stuff like the storage drawers and things like that. I will have to make storage drawers and such, but it doesn't make any sense to use them now, especially with like compressed blocks and stuff. And with these small, quote unquote, storage crates being so large, I don't have to worry about having like a series of double chests and double trap chests and stuff. So for example, I will start off with this. Let's see, blocks, overworld, compressed blocks. So basically, for any block that is in the overworld that can be compressed, will go into this chest. So for example, I will have a row of pretty much every kind of cobblestone, compressed gravel, dirt, sand. Not sure if I'm going to include dust in that because, well, it can be compressed, but it's not from the overworld. That is a fair question. I could put it in a different chest. I'm only going to have the chests be 4 tall. I have in the past had times where my storage area was 5 blocks tall. It does make it much more difficult to reach the top chest, as well as be able to read what's on the sign. So I think I'm going to go with just 4 blocks tall. So I'm going to have like, here's the spot for compressed cobblestone, double compressed, triple compressed. Then we're going to go in alphabetical order. We're going to have compressed dirt. We're going to have compressed gravel, sand. And then the next box is going to be blocks. It helps if I spell the words correctly. Overworld. So this is basically for anything in the overworld that I can't compress. So for example, if the... I think I have some... Yes, it's like the diorite. If you can't compress diorite, which... Yeah, so I can't compress diorite. Perfectly fine. Diorite, granite, and andesite. So for all of that, I'll just have them in here. So I'll have my spot of andesite, and then below it, like if I need to make like some polished andesite or chiseled versions of andesite, I got that. Same thing with the diorite. I'll have that here. The granite, I'll have that here. Let's see. That's going to be overworld. I'm going to have a chest here for, let's see, blocks, nether, for the nether blocks and then the end blocks, I'm not going to worry too much about whether they can be compressed or not. The only reason I'm doing this is because I know so many of the overworld blocks that I'm going to be using can be compressed. So I might as well have one crate for stuff that can be compressed and one crate for ones that can't. I do want to make some more signs just so I have more representation of what I'm going to be working on. Say a fair amount of this is probably just going to be done off camera because it's a lot of, okay, I have this crafting ingredient. What chest do I put it in? Do I put it in the organics? Do I put it in the crafting ingredients? Okay, let me go ahead and move all that to here. I have this crafting ingredient. Let me now manually move all of these ores from this chest over to my ores chest. Make sure everything's sorted correctly. So on and so on. A lot of that is off-camera work. We have blocks. Do we want to call it the end, or we just call it end? There we go. So that's going to be like the basic storage for most blocks. It's not going to get all of them. If I need to, I might put another row for blocks here. But the next one would be like crafting components. So crafting components. Let's see. I usually make a spot for organics. So honestly, yeah, I probably would do... So yeah, I'd have like miscraft components. I'd start having organics, probably even a double organics. Organics are going to be things like saplings, seeds, and seed items. I'm going to have one for mob drops. So like spider eyes, silk, feathers, wool. Even though things like right now, string and wool and stuff can be crafted, eventually I will have farms that will gain me those things from mob drops. So that's why that's going to go in there. Same thing with the feathers. Feathers mostly are going to be coming from the chickens. So I'm not going to be like killing a lot of chickens to get mob drops. They're just going to be from the nests, but I'll have that just in case. I'm definitely going to have a spot for ores because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with the ores. And then just the usual things of equipment, you know, armor that I've made over time, tools, retired stuff. So like retired stuff is going to be a large portion of the storage just because I don't throw stuff away. So like the original sieve that I made, the wooden shears and stone shears, all of these loot chests are going to be in a single storage area. Why? Because I don't throw anything away. What else would I like to work on today? I have been off camera just while I've been, you know, gathering wood and smelting things. I've been taking all of the fish that is caught in this water trap and every now and again grinding them up in the grinder over here. The only things that I have not is basically anything that's down here because these can't be ground into ground fish. Let's see. Anything else? That's the frog. Yeah, so like the eel can't be ground into ground fish. Yep, that's raw frog. Mainly just to get more ground fish out of all of it. That I'm using for bait. Later on, I don't think the snail can. I think I've already checked and yep, snail's down here. But yeah, this thing has a lot of fish. I'm not going to run out of fish trap bait anytime soon, but it's a good way to kind of keep it cycling just because at some point I'm going to need to make so many fish dishes from Pam's Harvest Craft. What would I like to work on to round out today's episode? Do I want to attempt to start any chicken shenaniganery? I think I might, because obviously chickens are going to be one of the biggest things we're working with. So we have chicken eggs. We're going to need a chicken stick. That's the chicken feeder. That's the chicken breeder. Chicken soups. Okay. Let's see. For blockheads. Let me actually grab some fencing here. Make some more fencing. There we go. For now, we're going to put some fencing around this area here. Because there's a couple different methods that I can use to get chickens. There. Yeah, we'll put a couple gates in there just because I can. Again, this is a temporary setup until I get access to the actual chickens themselves. And just make 2. That's good enough for now. So much wheat. Gonna need more. Gonna need a lot more wheat for what I have in store. Okay. So, if we take a look, I've got, like I said, multitudes of ways to gain chickens. So there is the chicken bait from X Compressium, which is just 2 seeds. Not sure how that works, so we'll take a look. We'll make like, I don't know, 4. Boom. Oh, interesting. Okay. No, it didn't stack, but that's fine. There's no water in this area. Okay, well, good to know. We're learning, folks. I do believe that I can make some water. Let's grab a bucket. Infinite pond. Let's put it right here. Boop. The bait will work in this environment. Move out of range so you don't scare the animals away. Okay. It's emitting some smoke particles. That's interesting. All right. I don't know how long it takes. We got a chicken! We have our first chicken! It is a chicken! Oh! Oh no! He's angry! He's an angry chicken! Why did he get angry? Thankfully enough, he can't make it out of the, chicken stick plus chicken equals chicken stick. He's clucking mad. That's not what I was intending. Can I, like... Hi, chicken. Nope, that just... He's got so much health. No, okay, let's not open the... Well, I'm sorry to do this, Mr. Chicken. Oh, okay. We have a chicken stick now. Interesting. Okay, so we have the chicken stick. What I was actually looking for, one of them, I don't remember which one it is. Let's see. Is it hatchery? That's what I'm looking for. The animal nets. Really place the chicken into the nesting. Okay, that's better. So the egg nest. There we go. That's not exactly what I was intending. I thought the chicken stick was going to be something else. That's fine. It is perfectly fine. It is part of the experimentation here. I need to combine this stuff some more. Combine up all of that to that to that. That'll give me some more room. There we go. We need the hay bales. So we've got hay bales. 1, 2, and 3 makes an egg nest. So if we take an egg nest, and I think I have, yes, I have redstone torches. I accidentally made those previously. We've got some eggs. And it said placing a redstone torch. Let's see. Place an egg into the nest and will auto hatch your chicken over random time. Placing a redstone lamp. Heat lamp will replace later. Something was never added in. Up to 3 blocks above the nest will increase speed. Sitting on the egg will also increase speed of hatching. All right. Well, if we do that, and then we're going to... can I just put it on? No, I can't do that. I guess I'll have to like do dirt block and then like so. And then if I take the egg, boop, there we go. Okay, so in theory, that redstone torch is above that. Hey, it's already advancing. Nice. To collect resources and chicken with legs. Okay. While this is hatching, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to put down another chicken bait. Go, chicken bait. And I'm going to make the animal nets, which is just sticks and string. Easy enough to make. I have plenty of that and plenty of sticks. Because I would like to capture the chicken. Have an animal net. I think this has durability, so I may have to make more than one. So not a big deal. So we have the hatchery stuff. Let's also take a look at roost. This roost, chicken breeder, and roost collector. These are the different. That's the one I was looking for. The chicken catcher. So a feather. Yep, okay, so an egg, a feather, and a stick. That was the other thing I was looking for, because basically you can use this to boop the chicken, and it becomes an item that you can pick up. So, we have a bunch of eggs. Chicken collector. And these are in-house. Gotcha. So this is just basically for them to get more eggs. I can also make the chicken analyzer. Iron ingots and redstone, which I have. How's the chicken doing? That's still going. Oh, I am too close. The animals are scared away. No. Sad. Let's grab some iron. boop, boop. Let's make the compass. There we go. And we'll make the egg, make the chicken analyzer. And I think we have everything we need to check out this chicken once it shows up. Lots of hay, because we're going to need lots of hay for the hay bales. Oh, it's at 24%. I know. I wish there was a way to see the stats of the egg or the chicken bait. Oh, it's called the piggy backpack. Yep, there we go. Yep, piggy backpack lets you pick up mobs. Why would you attach a jetpack to the backpack? Okay, so it's a baby chicken. It's a little baby chicken. We can go ahead and just force it to grow up, as sad as that sounds, by feeding it a bunch of seeds. And I have a bunch of seeds, so might as well use them. Hi, baby chicken. We'll go ahead and make a big chicken. There we go. Okay. Little baby chicken. Oof. All right. So, chicken analyzer. Can I do this? Chicken catcher. Hey, there we go. We has chicken. Boop. Now, I think if I... Let's see. Use it on chickens to determine their stats. If I place this down, yes, it's just a chicken. Do I have to get super close to the chicken? Let's see. Nope. Wrong kind of chicken, maybe? Okay, I'll have to research. That's fine. Animal net. Whoop. I got the chicken. Place it back down. Chicken. Perfect. So no durability on the animal net. That's fine. Boop. Chicken. Nice. So this is going to be a quick and easy way for me to get a bunch of chickens. Just by booping a regular chicken with the stick. I think, if I remember correctly, I can actually turn these into smart chickens. Smart chicken. Right-click vanilla chicken with a book. And here's where it really gets silly. Because with the smart chicken, they start gaining better stats. Can I make, as kind of the last thing we do tonight, since this egg is still hatching, can I make a book? I think I can make a book. Books are pretty easy. Paper, blank patterns, and string, or paper and leather. Interesting that you can make... I mean, I guess that makes sense that you can make paper out of rice. Rice paper. Mechanism sawdust or wood pulp. Oh yeah, I can hammer... That's right, I can hammer logs. Sure, let's do that. I would like to attempt to make a smart chicken. I need... Is it this hammer? No, it's these hammers, which means I need the stone hammer. Okay. So, testing this out. Boop. Perfect. That gives me wood chips. Okay. Another one of those parts of the mods that I just haven't played around with in the past. So there we go. So wood chippings plus, I want to say, a bucket of water. Yeah, equals paper. So why would you ever do that? That's one of those weird... Press sawdust. What's it? Oh. I mean, sure, I guess. Anyway, what I was going to say is, so I can take 4 wood chippings and a water bucket and turn it into 2 paper. But why would I ever do that, considering I could just turn 3 wood chippings into 6 paper? Why would you use that recipe? You would think that would have been like, I don't know, taken out or changed or something? Weird. Oh well, we'll make easy paper, because why not? So that, yeah, that's just... Okay, sure. Sometimes when you have multiple mods that kind of... They're not exactly conflicting, but they just kind of like are interacting weirdly, you get strange recipes like that. Oh, that's okay. Book. So we're going to do that. We're going to head back to our pen. A little sip of apple juice. Our egg is 70% hatched. So we got chicken. Smart chicken! Ha 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 ha. Okay. So the chicken analyzer works on the smart chicken. It's growth 1, gain 1, strength 1. And the next egg is going to be in roughly 9 minutes. So what happens is, when I start breeding these chickens together, these chickens, smart chickens at the very least, will start having better stats. I believe in some versions of these mods that those stats will combine with the other chickens. So I'll be able to breed better coal chickens. I'll be able to breed better wood chickens, better diamond chickens. So they will create eggs faster. They will create their drops faster. So if I animal net smart chicken, place it back down, that still stays. Chicken catcher, smart chicken, and smart chicken. So yeah, looks like the only thing that resets maybe is the breeding timer. No? It actually changes each time. Okay, yeah. Strange. The breeding timer, the breeding cooldown, and the next egg timer both changes. That's okay. Boop. But I has myself a smart chicken. It's too bad that I can't see the stats of the smart chicken here to know, like, hey, this is the one that I want to keep versus the other one I want to, I don't know, send to the cooker. Let's see. If I come over here, can I be very careful? And can I sit on this egg to hatch it? I know I already have a redstone torch there. And... dun da da da! Little chicken. Let's go ahead and give you all of that. Okay. 1, 0, regular chicken. Boop. Perfect. All right. I do believe that I'm going to call it good for tonight. We have made some progress. I have shown here the smeltery. We've got the furnace, which I'll be recreating over here on a much larger scale. We've lit up center base with some more lighting to go. And I've shown the beginnings of the storage system, which will be installed into this wall. And I do believe then next it's going to be time to continue expanding outwards, because we're going to have a lot of chickens to play with. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good chicken.